Ooh, it is cold out here, man. It's cold out here, man. And, man, reminds me of school, man. Reminds me of school, man. You know, I went to, visit my dad's gravesite. And, I got lost. Man. I'm wandering around. And in the midst of getting lost, I saw a name. I thought I recognized that name. No, this cannot be that name, right? So I get close and I look at it. And, you know, it had a picture. And it was a classmate of mine. And her name was Kathy. Man. And I looked at what year it was, you know, that she had passed away. And it turns out she had only made it to her mid-20s. Man, I was just blown away, man. I was hurt. I was devastated, man. I mean, you gotta understand, man, Kathy was something special, man. She was something unique. She was just beautiful, man, beautiful. I mean, man, her personality, man, was just glowing. Talk to her about anything, man. Just a real special person, man. And just to look at that picture, you know, watching her, just looking at her, man, I couldn't take my eyes off her, man. I couldn't, man. You know, it reminded me, you know, about the last day of school. You know, really, that last year of school. It was just a crazy year, man. Crazy year, man. You know, we had this, that was the year I met some friends of mine, and, you know, we would skip school from time to time. You know, I feel like I had it down packed, man. I don't have to come every day, you know. Kind of crazy, man. It's just me hanging out with them, man. And, you know, but it was just a weird year, man, because we had this one guy, man, you know, kind of a loner type, you know, and he really didn't do a lot of talking. Even the teachers, you know, felt some type of way about him. So really, not a lot of people didn't talk to him, communicate with him. So me and my friend, you know, in gym class, we started talking to him, man. He was so grateful. Man, and we formed a little, you know, friendship. And so that was his time, man. When Jim came, you know, he had two friends that was going to be there for him and communicate with him, man. And so, you know, it was just the way he was treated. You know what I mean? I felt like we had a chance to be there for him. You know, I'm talking about as a whole, the school as a whole. We had a chance to be there for him, but instead, you know, they ignored him and, you know, just let him be, you know, feel alone, man. And I felt like we would have to pay for that. I felt like there was going to come a time that we was going to pay for that. And that time did come, you know. And what happened to him was, you know, one day we came to school, man, and you could just feel things was different, man. It was just something, it was a hush. It was a hush, man, that came through the hallways, man. And it was just, you know, you could feel it. Something was different. And then all of a sudden the announcement came. And the principal came over and she announced, you know, that he had taken his own life. And, you know, it just happened. And it was right behind the school. See, we had this trail behind the school. And then it could lead to some houses, or if you're skipping school, it could lead to some freedom, if you so desire. Also, it's where people, you know, do their little smoking thing or whatever. And I'm not a smoker, you know, but I went back there one time just hanging with my friends, man. So I'm not going to judge y'all. Let me see it is what it is y'all got going on. You know, did a little something. Didn't have an effect on me. Good news there, right? But the point is that was that trail. That trail was really kind of famous to us, you know. And it was on that trail that he took his own life. And later on, we would find out that he and his mom had got into a dispute that morning. And he took it hard. He took it real hard, man, because he was the only child. And, you know, his mom was all he had. And so it really affected him, man. It really affected him, man. And you know, it broke him. It broke him. And when that happened, though, I felt like we had a chance to be there for him and that we would have to pay that price. And sure enough, like I said, we would. Not long after that, we were at school, and the weather just started turning. Man. And all of a sudden, you know, sirens went off. And turns out a tornado was on the way. So, you know, you had a group that was in the gym, you know, and you had the rest of the students that were huddled in a particular hallway that had these two pits, right? And so people were lined up in the pits, man. Perfect place to be if you have a situation like that. It was a huge pits. And so everybody was in there, man. But then they started getting impatient. You know, and all of a sudden, you know, started want to go and see if anything really going on. I myself did the same thing. I walked back to the down the hall, to the back door where the tornado is supposedly coming from, and out of nowhere, you could see pitch dark, and you could see it was coming. It was right there in my face. And everybody just started shouting, taking off, running, diving in the pits, breaking legs and arms. And it was just gruesome, man. And everybody, all of a sudden you hear this big rumble. You know, it was loud too, man. And you could hear all this activity going on outside. And the building would just get hit for ferocious winds. And so, you know, man, when it was all over, it was chaos everywhere. But then another one came, and then another one. You know, before we can even assess the damage, two more hit so quick we couldn't even blink. And it was just mad crazy. So when it was all over, you know, everybody, you know, assessed the damage. They was trying to get people into the infirmary, you know, people pouring out into the parking lots, windows blown out of the cars, glass everywhere. And I remember I seen this one girl roaming around. That woman, because she was nice looking, you know, she just happened to be. And she was hysterical, man. And I gave her my jacket, my favorite. Look, this jacket here, you could not get anywhere. Reversible too, man. It had some lines. Oh, this jacket was cold. It was a cold jacket, man. But I'm just, you know, I put it around her, man. But now, at the time, also, one of those tornadoes hit the gym. And it blew the roof literally off the gym, which meant that the coaches and all those students that was in there had to literally look up and see that tornado. It was live, you know what I mean? It was mad crazy, man. But they made it through. You know, most of the injuries and stuff took place in the main building, you know. And it was on the news and everything, man. It was horrible. It was horrible, man. And thing is, that was us having to pay, you know, for, you know, leaving him alone. And that's how I honestly felt that way. I just felt something strange was going to happen. And we owed him. We owed him, man, and we was going to have to pay that price, man, you know. I really did, man. And it was a really strange year, man, that year, man. And I remember I had a chance to go out for the basketball team. And so, you know, because in junior high when I went out, I didn't know what a figure eight was. So, you know, the guys running the figure eight, run the figure. I didn't know what it was. They were just getting upset with me, man. All the teammates getting mad at me and all that, man. So obviously I didn't make the team. But because of that, you know, I shot ball in other areas of the school, so it wasn't like I could shoot ball, you know. It's just, so that recovered me as far as people knowing I could shoot ball. It's just the fact that, you know, I was embarrassed, you know, about the fact that I never played organized ball, so I didn't know those, you know, drills. So when it came down to time to try out this time in the high school, I thought about it, man. I was so thought about it. one day after another, and I just decided against it, man. I couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk it. And I'm going to be really honest about the real reason why. There was this one guy, man, he loud, you know what I mean, trying to embarrass people, you know. He was trying out for the team, you know what I mean. And I said, man, you know, I'm knowing, you know, I'm real shot. So it's like, if I botch this up, he gonna make it broadcast. You know what I mean? It was all because of him. It was because of the fact I knew he would broadcast it if I blew this thing. And I should have did it. I should have tried, man. To this day, you know, won't nobody even play me, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get on no court with me, man. And the thing is, but I didn't do it, man. I didn't do it, man. And it's a definite regret of mine for sure, man. Any chance you get, you know, to go after something, you know that you want to go after, you go after. You don't worry about, you know, how it's gonna turn out. You know, you rather be to know you tried than to have to live with that regret. You know, that's real, man. That's real. You know, I remember it was this girl, man, named Tina. You know what I mean? Tina, man, kind of ahead of her time as far as, you know, her maturity level. You know what I mean? She, you know, she already been through some, been there and seen all the bells and whistles. You know, she had a kid already and everything, and you know, it wasn't because of that, but you know, you gotta understand our neighborhoods that we're from. You know, she's already seen everything. You know, man, this girl was amazing, man. I wanted to give her so bad. I gave it my all, man. That was the one time, you know, I would definitely say I gave it my all, man. I wanted that girl bad, man. And it's kind of funny, man. You know, you graduate, and you see after you graduate, you know, you hear about, you know, old romances and people finding each other 20, 30, 40 years later on and rekindling. You know what I mean? And sure enough, later on after we had graduated, I ran into Tina. You know what I mean? I'm still shooting my shot, man. And seemed like I was gonna get my chance. And if you go and listen to the craziest summer I ever had, you know, that's the Tina I'm talking about. So it's, you know, anyway, go and listen to the craziest summer I ever had. Man, amazing story. Amazing, man. But yeah, man, ran into it, man. I was still shooting my shot, man. And it's kind of weird, man. You know, think about, I say the last year of school, you know, but when you're in that senior year, you know, it's that time when, you know, everybody's trying to figure out their future, you know what I mean? And, you know that at some point, moms are like, hey, man, you gotta get a job, you gotta go to school, you gotta do something, you know what I mean? You already know, you're already thinking about your future. You're thinking about, you know, how you want to pursue it and what exactly you want to do, you know what I mean? And it's a crazy time of the year. Now, this is the weirdest thing that happened to me, man. Skipping school with those guys, right? We skipped school so much to the point that I flunked school. Crazy. Keep in mind now, my other report cards was all high marks. I mean, super high. And yeah, but this year I just felt I got comfortable. And flunked school, man. Flunked a couple of grades, man, a couple of classes. And what happened, ironically, those teachers did not get those grades in early enough. And so they had to let me graduate. Mad crazy, man. Mad crazy. I didn't get a diploma, though. I had to go to summer school. And you knew who was sitting right beside me? Those guys I skipped school with. And who else? Tina. That's why you gotta check out the craziest summer, man. The craziest summer ever, man. Gotta check that out, man. But yeah, man, that was a strange year, man. Cause that year also they had they redid the streets in front of the school, so that really shrunk the sidewalks that we used to get back and forth to school, the ones who walked, and a lot of students was getting hit by cars. And we were losing students, actually losing students due to that construction, that change, because it shortened the sidewalks. And I remember this one guy, man. This guy was smart. This guy was super smart, man. I mean, he was like a scientist type, you know what I mean? And yet, you know, it was that on that sidewalk, man, that his journey got cut short, you know. And so it was just interesting, man. You know, there are a couple more things that happened that year, man, that I'm not gonna get into, man. But I would say it was a really interesting time frame, man. And it's funny, man. You'll get out of school, man, and now you in the stores, man. I'll say, hey, I know you, I know. You run into your old classmates. It's just like you see on TV. They want to know what you got going on, this, that, and the other. Oh, comparing to see who still look the way they did back then and all that. You know, it's mad crazy, man. But I miss school, man. I do miss it, man. It was cool, man. I do. It was a cool time in my life, man. And it was a journey. It was a journey. Now, would I go back? No, I'm good, man, because I got the most out of it. I really did. I got the most out of it. You know, even when going to the prom, man, you know, I didn't have any money, man. You know, I'm from, you know, poor background. I didn't have any money, you know what I mean? So, you know, hey, man, my dad had to kind of make do. But she worked with me. She She brought a little money, man, knowing the situation. And we made do it, man, and made things, you know, it got through it, you know what I'm saying, and did our thing, you know. But yeah, man, last day of school, man, just mad crazy, man, and I was just, when I all that started in my mind when I seen Kathy. And I want to dedicate this, you know, this video to her, man, and say, hey, I'll never forget you, man. I'll never forget you, man. You were an amazing individual, and I'm just so glad that you came through my portal of life, you know what I mean? Just to have that ray of sunshine that you put out each and every day, man. There'll never be another Kathy. There'll never be another Kathy, that's for sure, man. And so, you know, man, just wanted to let you know, man, you'll always be remembered here. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna holler at you guys, man. This your boy, the MILF, man. And hey, man, cherish those days, man. You know what I mean? And you know, those memories and things, right? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, it can be really, really crazy. For real. It's the last day of school, man. Holler at you guys later on.